So Zach, just do what you think you should do, and no further direction is given.
I don't like the sound of this. I'm the guy who edits this. I got it. Yakashmash. We're doing Borat today on the podcast. Hold on. What is the name of the podcast? Welcome to Movies to Watch Before You Die. I'm guest speaker Zach here with Corey, Gab, and Dylan. Very good. And we're doing Wild Things today. Perfect. No notes.
Amazing. That's it. All right, cut it. We're taking it.
All right. So should we move on to our next thing? Should I ask? You know what Zach knows too well? Corey, putting you on the spot. What is Wild Things about?
I'm not good at this. Every time I've been on the show and I listen back, I'm like, I'm not good at this.
Here's the thing, and we've been talking about this a lot at our house lately. Corey's problem is that he can't just answer the question. Somebody is like, so what do you do? And he'll be like, well, for work, see, when I wake up in the morning and I have coffee, I get ready to go to my...
I'm usually like, well, when I was 15, and then
answer the question.
Okay, what?
In 30 seconds, what is Wild Things about?
What's this all been about? What am I working toward?
You think you know everything about me, don't you?
I dive at your bottom. I bloody well ought to.
All right, and go. Okay, so Wild Things is about a guidance counselor named Matt Dillon's character. What's his name?
Sam Lombardo.
Lombardo. It was about a guidance counselor named Sam Lombardo at a school in Florida, and he gets accused of raping a student. And then he gets accused of raping another student. So now he's got 2 rape accusations going on. And there's detectives on the case. And then a spaceship came. And then, there's detectives on the case. And then you find out that it's been a...
Got a plot. You're not seeing the plot. You're so much about it.
All right. Oh, so you got a guy accused of rape by 2 students. This is going to work right now. Guy accused of rape by 2 students. And then there's a case about it.
Okay. All right, Dylan, what is IMDb?
Wait, Zach would say, if you had to wrap it up right now, you would say, a man is accused of rape by 2 students, and then... Hold on, I think I could sum it up 2 words in 1 sentence.
Hilarity ensues.
Oh, that's good. Hijinks ensue. Like, if you like lesbian porn with an M. Night Shyamalan twist, you're going to like this movie.
Yep.
That's fair.
Why don't we see if IMDb matches either one of your descriptions?
Does IMDb ramble or call it porn? Let's find...
Be shot. The IMDb plot summary is, a police detective uncovers a conspiracy behind a case involving a high school guidance counselor when accusations of rape are made against him by 2 female students.
Oh, that was close.
Yeah, they did.
Oh, yeah.
They're paraphrasing me and Corey. That was a bit of a run-on sentence, I feel like, and they did not include lesbian pornography at all.
Let me ask you a question. If you 2 are brothers, why do you have such different beards?
I'm throwing mine out a little bit. I'm going for like a wizard look.
Yeah, it's getting long. I haven't seen it this long.
Yeah.
But it just grows differently.
But that's...
You realize, as an audio-only form, this is the worst topic we could talk about. Yeah, our beards grow the same? I don't know. What do you mean? I haven't studied your beard. Should I?
Well, I suppose it's similar. I guess Dylan's is a little lighter on the upper lip and the chin, and
Mine's more like a dark red. His is like a light orange. Once Gab grows a beard, we'll see if hers is similar.
exactly. Yeah, we'll see what side of the family it's on. Okay, never mind. I believe your brothers now. I see it. Okay.
That was the evidence. Gab, what comes next? Hijinks ensue. No.
Yeah, hijinks ensue, but then also now we have to do my least favorite part, which is taglines.
Taglines, which we have a couple. Wait, why is that your least favorite part, if you don't mind my asking?
I just think all taglines are garbage. Like, none of them are like, they don't get me, you know?
We've had some movies with great taglines, though. Like Alien, in space, no one can hear you scream. That's iconic.
There have been some good ones.
Sometimes it's like, coming this summer, get ready for hijinks, because they're gonna ensue.
Kids, that following story. Kids' movies are the laziest of all taglines. Why? Name one. I can't name a tagline, but it's like, after school, recess starts. And I'm like, well, okay. You know, recess is generally in the middle of the day. I know. That's why they're very lazy. Leave me alone. All right. The first one, Get Wild. This one was for the German release. I was like, that's not English. Yeah. Seisen jung, Seisen sexy, Seisen morderisch. You're young, you're sexy, you're murderous.
Oh, okay. First of all, thank you very much.
It wasn't angry enough for German, though. That's Seissen Jom. Say the second part, Seissen sexy. Is Seissen marketisch. I do love that in all the German. There's no German translation for sexy.
Yeah.
Wait, really? Seissen jung, Seissen sexy. They're dying to play with you. Be wild, be wicked, beware.
That one's all right.
I think this last one's the best one. They can turn you on or turn on you. But it gives away too much, because I love the first time I sat down and watched Wild Things, I was like, get the fuck out of here. What's she doing in the hotel room?
How old were you?
33.
All right. Listen, I think before we go any further, we need to give a little bit more context because I don't think this is like a widely known film. So, Zach, why don't you to better than Corey, or maybe as good as Corey, but now in this spot where it belongs?
Expanded story description. I'll pick up where the aliens left off.
There we go.
So here's your spoiler warning. The movie's on Paramount Plus if you want to watch it on there. Now you can go ahead and start spoiling. It's a detective, almost like a noir style kind of film in the beginning, and then you like that? Noir. And you waiting for no response. You just kept going. I was talking to myself there, but okay. It's a noir style thriller in the beginning, and then twist after twist after twist, and then you think it's done twisting, and you get to the credits and they twist some more. You're gonna be twisted.
Okay, but say more. What
What had
happened?
some more expansive descriptions. So it all started when Corey was 15 in the town of Blue Bay. It starts off with you see the two sides of this town, the poor side, the rich side, and the haves and the have-nots, and the whole movie is about pretty much just the have-nots conniving with the haves to steal money from them and then turning on each other. He's having like the reverse of what you're saying. Corey, what's over this? He can't stop summarizing. He can only give you the briefest version.
Okay, I'll do it.
Somebody do it.
This film is about two high school girls who team up with their guidance counselor to steal money from the rich one's mother by accusing the guidance counselor of rape, admitting that they lied, getting the money out of her trust fund, and then running away together. And as the story unfolds, we find that not only are the two girls and the guidance counselor working together, but so is the cop investigating, and that's it, right? It's just them.
I mean, we're fully spoiling now. The lawyer's kind of in on it too.
The lawyers and yeah.
To sum up a little more, I just mentioned lesbian sex scenes. If you like movies where they hang dong, you're gonna like this too.
Yeah, I was shocked. Kevin Bacon, full frontal male nudity.
And it's an odd. Okay, I've talked about this with a few people now. I've mentioned Kevin Bacon's penis to a lot of people. He talks about it a lot, and the way you view it there, he's in some weird half flaccid, half not state. It's like he prepped up. He's like, all right, I'm ready. Shoot the film.
Yeah. I did think that also. I thought he was a little porked up for it.
Yeah, it was a little strange. I love how only the men are thinking about Kevin Bacon's penis.
Yeah.
My new podcast, Kevin Bacon's penis, starting right after this one.
I didn't, that thought would never occur to me in a million years. Now, I will say this. Have I told you guys the story of how I met Kevin Bacon?
No. Were you also throwing him a towel in the shower?
No, I wish. Actually, I don't wish. I'm not attracted to Kevin Bacon in the least. I never have been. I never understood. Although I'll say this, in that one scene in the movie where he goes to visit the poor teenage girl, he is standing in the doorway with this like blue unbuttoned shirt, and he looks a lot like his character in Footloose.
I see it.
You know?
He's still the same human being.
Well, yeah, but he was just dressed like this character. So anyway, when I was in college, I had a roommate named Christy, and Christy had this little white crusty dog. And one night we were bored, and so we went to, oh my God, what was the name of the place? The like makeup and hair place on the Upper West Side. Oh, we've had this discussion before where I can't think of what the place is called. It's No, it's like an Ulta, but it was called like Stevie's or something.
Ricky.
Ricky's, thank you. So for those of you listening that would have any idea what I'm talking about, we went to Ricky's and we bought this pink hair dye. And we were telling the girl at the store, we're going to dye the dog's hair pink. We're going to have this pink dog. Oh my God, it's so cool. So we went home, we dyed the dog pink, and then we're like, well, we got to go back to Ricky's to show them that we actually did what we said we were going to do. So we put the leash on the dog and we start walking to Ricky's, and I'm walking the dog, and all of a sudden this guy goes, oh my God, that dog is pink. And I look at the guy and I was like, oh my God, you're Kevin Bacon. And then he was like, bye, and just kept walking.
I do like the idea that he just disappeared after that. He just shows up. Didn't he play an Invisible Man? The Hollow Man.
Oh, he did in
Hollow Man.
that movie where he Hollow Man. That's right.
That movie where he was invisible.
Where he wears a trench coat. That's what I was gonna say.
Also involving rape. Now it sounds, ew, he's invisible just so he can rape people? It's not explicitly for that, but yeah, it does go.
Isn't that like the other plot line in Harry Potter?
No, he didn't get invisible
What?
on purpose.
Rape?
It was a joke about the cloak of invisibility.
I was going to say, I haven't seen those movies in a while. Well, I'm not going to say if I was suddenly invisible, one of the places I go wouldn't be like a woman's locker room. Adult women.
Important to note.
The high school locker room.
What adult women's locker room? Anyway,
College, university locker room.
sure. Okay, fine. Now, listen, this movie is have we somewhat like Dylan, could you help me out here? I feel like people have already lost interest.
Sam Lombardo is accused of rape by Susie and Kelly. Kelly and Susie are actually working with him. First twist. Then it turns out that they have to kill Susie because they're worried that she's going to crack.
Yeah.
Obviously, spoiler. Then the cop who knew that Kelly was going to get killed, Susie was going to get killed, goes to warn Kelly and ends up killing her. Is that a twist? That is part of a twist. It's a later twist, not a twist yet. So then the cop, it turns out, is working with Sam. Twist again. Then it turns out that we find out Susie is still
He
alive.
isn't dead. Yeah.
She kills the cop. Twist again. I love what he said. Wait, you're dead. He does just give a, wait, you're dead. Not dead. Then after the credits, we have another twist when we find out that Susie has been the orchestrator of everything and has been working with Bill Murray. I was going to say lawyer. We did not mention Bill Murray's character yet, and that's a crime because he's amazing in this movie. He's only in
great.
3 scenes. He makes the movie. I don't know about that. You can't replace him with anyone else in the movie. What do you mean with anyone else in the movie? It wouldn't be the same.
Bob Odenkirk.
You could Nicolas Cage. Well, fun both of you. I guess you could replace him, but I like Bill Murray in this movie. Owen Wilson.
It's fine.
Oh, that would be a
Adam
wacky movie.
Sandler.
They at the club. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I'd watch that. Is it opinion
Can we get
time?
to opinion time? Yeah.
Yes.
In this critic's opinion,
You know, that's just like your opinion, man.
Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion.
Before you start, Gab, how much did you know going into this?
Nothing. I thought this was the movie with the big hairy monsters.
Where the wildlings are.
Yeah,
Not rent this for a child.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, this is okay, interesting. The thing that stuck out to me the most in the opening scene of the movie, or where we're kind of figuring out that okay, we're in Florida, there's a lot of wealthy people here, they're playing tennis, look at the whatever. High school students used to look so much older. I hope that neither one of you have been to a high school recently, but I can tell you,
Like I said.
yeah. Zach is not allowed within 50 yards of a high school, but I can say with certainty that they look like little kids compared to how they were not just depicted in the 90s, but also I feel like just were in the 90s. Like, why do people look younger?
One word. I'm not going to say. It's going to ruin the show in one word. Okay, well, first of all, you got older. It's
No.
the hairstyles. It's not the hairstyles. Second of all, I do think they used to legitimately cast older actors to play high school students far more. Sure, look at Grease. They're like senior citizens. Well, like I think of Beverly Hills 90210, Luke Perry was like 30-something.
True, but even like my mom, who is a high school teacher, has like old footage from like students or whatever, and they all look so old. And I'm older than them now.
You could also say the same thing, too, about older ages. Like, why is it that now, I feel like 40-year-olds now look younger than 40-year-olds did 30 years ago.
Well, that's because you're older.
The GMOs in the food. No.
The GMO.
The seed oils.
Yeah.
You don't even, what's a GMO, Zach?
And what does it stand for?
Tag me it.
Genetically modified organisms? Allie says I've never given her one.
You can edit that out, right?
Nope.
That's going to be an entire clip on its own. Just for Allie.
Okay. Anyway, I just feel like they look older, or they look older then, and they look younger now.
I agree with you, though. That is true.
Thank you. Now, moving on. No one in this movie was a very good actor.
Except for Bill Murray.
Hot take. First off, thank you for the Bill Murray props.
Yeah, I'll give Bill Murray the props.
What? I think they were all great actors. Keep in mind, they're acting within an acting.
Right. And maybe that's what I'm seeing. But there's just a lot of this, like, and maybe it's the style of the movie, but there's a lot of like, Kelly, how could you? I can't, but we are going to have to blah, blah, blah. It's like, all right.
Pretty good impression of the mom. The mom
That's
is
what the
terrible.
mom sounds like. She's terrible.
No, we see her naked, first off, so awesome right there. The mom feels, I said this when Zach and I watched it yesterday, the mom feels like they wanted Kim Cattrall and they couldn't get her, and they're like, whoever you are, step right up.
Yeah, you kind of look like her. Sure.
Also, Beverly D'Angelo could have been the mom, too.
I would have looked at her naked in this, too.
I was going to say, she's naked in all the Christmas and the vacation movies.
Wait, is she?
Yeah.
Well, I know what we're watching later now. Coming up on our next podcast.
It's not Christmas Vacation, but she's definitely naked in
Vacation.
the regular Vacation. I think she's naked in European Vacation, and maybe Vegas too. I don't know. You'll have to
Just
look
for
it
the
up.
audience, he is actually writing this down now, Turin. Oh, looking it up. Oh, my God. Shout out to Mr. Skin for this assistance here. I do also want to mention, so Kelly says something about, do you know how she's getting the money to pay you off after the lawsuit criminal case falls through? She's breaking my trust. But I feel like after that scene, the only way she was actually able to get the money was to sell every one of Denise Richards' tops, because she does not wear a shirt for the rest of the movie.
Yeah, totally.
Those are part-
Also,
that is part of the hijinks. Yeah.
you know, one of the things that I realized upon watching this movie is that I don't necessarily know the difference between Denise Richards and Brooke Shields.
Wait, why do I mix them up too?
They're just kind of the same.
Brooke Shields older? Yeah, one of them is. But why? Well, I do the same thing, and I don't know.
I think
why.
they're both like models that kind of were not great actors that grew up to be like just known for being really attractive and not like aging.
I mean, I think,
but-
yeah, you're kind of right. Yeah, they both were.
Neither one of them were like very talented. Yeah.
Denise Richards had a reality show later on.
I think she's still on a reality show with the Housewives. Is she on the Housewives?
Yeah.
I think so.
Which one married Billy Joel? Brooke Shields?
No.
Neither. You're thinking of what's
Christy Brinkley,
yes.
also in Vacation.
Oh, Christy
but not
Brinkley,
naked,
yes.
Unfortunately, not naked.
Yep.
I often confuse Nev Campbell and Liv Tyler.
Oh, I could see it. I think Nev Campbell's a much better actress than Liv Tyler.
What's the one I mix up with Liv Tyler?
I don't know.
The girl from Gilmore Girls. Lauren Graham. Almost ahead of
Mm. I didn't know the difference between Nev Campbell and Naomi Campbell.
Those are very different.
Very different. Very different. Also, Dylan, you not that long ago, if I recall us talking about this, did watch The Princess Diaries, correct?
I have.
Doesn't the friend Lily kind of remind you of Susie in this movie?
Yeah, I can see it. Totally.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, we can end the podcast now.
Oh, good. We got all the important opinions out of the way.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so I thought the acting was not super great. Matt Dillon, why does he talk like that?
Ooh, what do you mean? Like what?
He's just kind of always like using this.
the way he talks.
Yeah, I don't like
Who
it
knew
at
God
all.
was Rich Little? Rich Little. That's a relevant reference. It's relevant.
Oh my God.
He sounded more like Little Nicky to me.
He does have a certain raspy quality.
Get in the
He
flash.
kind of reminds me of Michael Madsen a little bit.
The movie would take such a weird twist if you replace Michael Madsen with him in it, though.
Who's that?
Nowadays, Michael Madsen
From,
is really
Reservoir
showing.
Dogs.
I like Matt Dillon though in general, and it's funny. I don't feel like Matt Dillon is terrible in this movie at all, or Kevin Bacon. I really like the both of them.
Yeah, they're fine. Matt Dillon, what a heavy brow. You know, he's just kind of always like looking up from underneath his own
I
eyebrows.
know how serious I am.
There is a scene.
Yeah.
Where I think it's when he's talking to the detective comes to visit him at the motel, and I was just like, wow, the amount of wrinkles right now in this Borat is crazy.
Yeah.
It's a very furrowed brow.
Yeah. What else? Daphne Rubin-Vega.
She was awesome in it. She's the other.
She's the original Mimi in Rent on Broadway.
I did not know that.
I come with the facts. Yeah, she was really great in that. I had no idea that she did anything besides Broadway.
You know what? I've been alive for 5,962 minutes, and I did not know that.
Good job. What are my other strong opinions? Other than like summarizing my feelings on the movie, I guess I don't have a ton else to say. It definitely feels at this point, and I hate to say this, but it does feel like a period piece.
Wait, why?
They have
Because
cell
it's-
phones.
Yeah, 100%. But it feels like, have you watched Cruel Intentions within the last like 5 to 10
I've
years?
never seen that movie, actually. I have it on my DVR.
What?
It is solid.
I think you'd
It's
really
very
like it.
good.
It's-
I'm gonna watch
it's
it
better
later. It's
than
on my
this.
DVR. I will watch it
Yeah.
this week.
Good. It's this, but I think better.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah. Dylan?
Bold statement because I love Wild Things. It is significantly less. No, I was gonna say significantly less horny, but it's not significantly.
No.
less horny. It's slightly less horny. I don't know. I think I'd have to. I just rewatched Wild Things, so I feel like I'd have to rewatch Cruel Intentions to.
You should.
I want to ask the panel: is this the horniest movie ever made? Besides obvious actual porn,
Maybe does the
Besides The Room.
I was gonna say
This is
when the
way
sex
hornier
scene
than The Room.
happened, I was like, okay, this feels like The Room now. like it's just not ending. We
I
get
said
it.
we were watching the movie, and I was like, imagine Gav and Corey not knowing what they're walking into, and all of a sudden getting to this.
That's kind of what happened. At first, it was like, oh shit, wow, okay, oh yeah, look up there, okay, this is happening, and then it like kind of wasn't ending, and it was like, is this like? It feels like The Room, where you're like,
the rest of the movie now. When I first watched it, I was like, all right, I'll continue watching the movie. This seems great.
It's apparently
Yeah.
one of the most paused movie moments ever. No, Titanic, VHS number 2, 16 minutes in. It will be. Yes.
I definitely was like, oh yeah, this is Zach picked this movie, no question, yeah,
I was gonna say this is the most Zach pick yet.
yeah.
Hold on, my cousin Vinny. This is much more you than my cousin Vinny or Borat.
Yeah.
They just needed boobies in My Cousin Vinny and Borat, and it would have been perfect. You would have killed for Marissa Tomei boobies in My Cousin Vinny, wouldn't you? Do we see her naked in The Wrestler? Yes.
This has just turned into me seeking out naked women in movies.
Yes, it has.
I'm gonna
Dylan-
play the compilation for Allie later.
Why don't you give some of your opinions?
Oh, I that was my first opinion. I legitimately think this is the horniest movie ever made that is not
Okay.
full on pornography. Cruel Intentions was actually a very good movie to note because that is way up there. That's in the top 10 of horniness. But I think there may be no hornier movie that does not include full on penetration. Terminator, they were so horny. She has sex with a man who's been wearing commando style hobo's pants the entire movie. You're telling me this is the horniest movie? They get horny for one scene. This movie is horny for its entirety. This movie is constantly about like, is Matt Dillon fucking the mom in this scene or is he fucking the daughter in this scene? Maybe somebody's gonna fuck Susie. Maybe somebody's gonna fuck Bill Murray for These are great looking people. This is how good looking people behave. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know either. And I do assume that's what it's like for beautiful people. Is. I'm just saying, none of you can name a hornier movie than this.
I'm trying to think of one.
Yeah.
I will also say the movie is very heavy on the symbolic shots of alligators or crocodiles. What do you mean the symbolic shots of them?
Those are gators. It's Florida.
Gators. Okay. The movie very much is like gators, predators, people in the movie, predators. It's like, ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know. Why do you think they keep showing the gators, Zach? Just to remind you we're in Florida? Why are you putting your hand so close to my mouth?
What do you think what animal alive today or currently on the planet today is the closest thing to a dinosaur? Is it A, and think very hard
Is
about
there an
this.
actual answer?
No. Is it A, an alligator, or B, a chicken?
Isn't it chickens?
Or C, a rhinoceros.
Also valid.
Sure, it's chickens. Cross those three together, and that'd be some cool animal.
That's a dinosaur.
Rhinoceros? Yeah.
A chick-gator-oceros.
Chickadodinoceros, you mean? Personally, I'm going to go with the crocodile. I know chicken is technically closer.
Crocodile wasn't an option. It was alligator,
Alligator,
or
same shit.
rhinoceros.
A caiman, whatever you want to call them, they all look the same.
You said you have a fun fact about Kevin Bacon's dong in the movie. I do have facts about the dong, yes. Let's get to the facts, yes.
Is it really him or is it like a prosthetic?
It is actually him.
Good for him.
It clearly wasn't a prosthetic.
Yeah, it looked real.
Marky Mark's a prosthetic in Boogie Nights and you wouldn't know it.
Who's?
Did they just slide the fake penis over the real penis? You never saw that Friends episode when the baloney falls off his dick? I have not. Quite frankly, Friends is apparently a different show than I thought it was.
What was your favorite Bill Murray lines? I felt like you kept repeating. See you at the club.
That was great. Wiping his ass with the paper.
The intercom in his office, and she's like, "I hear you."
So this movie, it's all over $8 million is the actual amount that we find it. $8.5 million, I think.
Yeah, which feels like pennies. Like I can't wipe my ass with $8 million.
Well, sure. That's very fortunate for you guys. You know what? For $8 million, I would never wipe my ass again. If someo's out there listening and offer, it says an eccentric millionaire out there offering.
I'll
You
never
can
wipe
wash
my ass
it,
again
but
if
you
give me $8
don't.
million bucks.
Wait, why is this millionaire giving you money to not wipe your ass? Wouldn't he pay you $8 million to wipe his ass or something? I will come once a week wherever you are and wipe your ass. I don't think he cares how many times you come a week.
I recently learned that there is a group of people out there, a group of straight men. I'll be specific, straight men who believe that wiping your ass is gay. And they use the phrase, "Why do you need to clean if no one's coming to visit?"
You.
I know, but these people exist.
Hold on. Straight land here. I feel so gross unless it's wiped very nicely. Yeah, this is it'll ruin my day. Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't do it because they don't want to be mistaken for a homosexual.
I will say though,
Who's checking though?
I did have an accident recently where the finger slipped right through the paper towel and the toilet paper, and that did feel kind of good.
Oh, God.
I just like, oh shit, better wash my hands real good. Should I say something else about the movie?
Sure.
So Allie pointed this out. You know what's a good context clue for the first reveal that maybe Salem Bardo is not a good guy, even though he's our protagonist for most of the movie? I pointed this out. Fine, one of you two pointed it out. I don't care who gets the credit. When he is leaving the school, and he's quitting, being fired, whatever it is, he has lizards at the school, and he just abandons those lizards. He said, pick the lizards for me. Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Well, the lizards are running around. I'm not trying to defend him, even though it sounds. The lizards are running around all over.
A lizard abandoner, Corey. Wait, I want to hear it.
Maybe they're not. Maybe they're not his lizard. Maybe those lizards just moved in and he just didn't do anything about it.
We don't see a tank. They could just be lizards.
They could be
They're
squat.
water lizards. They ripped out that terrarium. It had nothing to do with it. For that aquarium. Jesus.
Zach, is this like one of your favorite movies? How often do you watch this?
Frequently, I would say generally at night when Allie's asleep. I would say at least once a year I'd turn on Wild Things. I have like 2 copies of the DVD in case I lose one.
How old were you when the first time you saw this? Is there like a story here?
This was generally, I feel like you did foresee this within the last few years. It was certainly, yeah, it was at the old apartment, but I mean, 2017-ish?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you weren't like a kid.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because I remember when this movie came out, like I remember the posters everywhere. I remember like seeing the ads in magazines for it like crazy, but I never got to, like, I was never
reading a vintage like comic or some shit recently, and it had the Wild Things added, and I wanted
the
to make
Wild Things that.
I feel like I'm generally aware of the poster too. Like, I feel like I remember us being in Hollywood Video or Blockbuster and being like, well, whatever that is, I can't rent it with mom and dad. Like,
Yeah, like Game Informer had it and all that shit. Like
When we like typed in the movie and it popped up on like where to find it, and I saw the poster, I was like, oh, first of all, I was shocked that it wasn't the hairy monsters. But then second, I was like, oh, is this going to be like that movie 13? And I've never seen either of them, but the poster gave me the same vibe.
I don't know what that movie is. It's with the one that was married to Marilyn Manson, I think, is in that. Evan Rachel Wood? Yeah.
She was married to Marilyn Manson?
Yeah.
she's good.
Isn't she in that Beatles movie I made us watch?
Which movie? The one.
Across the Universe.
That's the one. Did you guys see, totally off topic now, did you see that movie, I think it's called Yesterday, where this guy wakes up in a world where the Beatles never existed, but he knows all the lyrics to it and stuff?
No, but that looked good. Was it
I
good?
heard it was bad. I've seen it yet. It's on my DVR. I feel like I saw those intentions than that.
Got it. Okay.
So I did find the line though that Kevin Bacon says a line that I feel like it could have also been the tagline for the movie.
Okay.
People aren't always what they appear to be. Don't forget it. I remember that when he's digging the deep out of the boat.
Yeah, we were laughing
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah. Another awesome Kevin Bacon line. I want to dance. From a different movie.
In the movie? Wait, why does he say that? Can we talk about what is the wildest line in this movie, and they go out to great lengths to make sure it's said twice? Zach, I'm gonna let you say it because I don't want to say it.
Which he's telling the story of the assault from Mr. Lombardo.
Oh yeah.
What did Mr. Lombardo say?
say
That? I want you to say it, motherfucker. I'm saying it. No little girl can ever make me come. Oh, God.
Yeah, there's a lot of lines in this movie that are like a little jarring, and I don't know to what extent it's like, oh, it's the 90s, and to what extent it's like, we want to make you uncomfortable. They say the word rape so many times. They say she calls her a cunt at one point.
In our household, cunt is used like we're in England. We call everyone's a cunt. Yeah, never mind
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Polish cunts.
Same, but also like not a word you hear all that often in American movies.
True. Not
They
a lot
said
of
that
American movies show
line.
dong either.
True. You know what movie we need to watch, and it's on my list. Speaking of dong, is Gone Girl.
There's a very quick dong. Wait, why does it gong? There's a quick gong in Dong Girl. How about Gong with the
Dong Girl.
A classic.
Yeah, of course.
Actually, my dear, I don't give a dong. I've always depended on the dongs of strangers. I don't know nothing about no dongs.
Oh my God. That makes me so happy that you just said that, Zach. I say that all the time. I don't know nothing about birth and no babies, Miss Scarlett, and not everybody knows what I'm talking about.
Well, now I've ruined it for you. You're just gonna think of dongs. Yeah. I will say, I remember I watched a clip. I don't think I had this in the facts anyway. Kevin Bacon was talking about, obviously, once he's being interviewed for the movie, that all the American interviews kept asking him about his penis. And he was like, and once I finally was doing any interviews with a European broadcast network or any interview of some kind, they never really brought it up.
Yep.
Pun intended. He was just talking about how it's different the way that American media views movies than foreign media. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or how we think about penises.
To me, it's so weird what we can put in movies and what, oh, God forbid you see a penis enter a vagina, but you could see this guy and, ripping the skin off his face and put it on another guy,
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think of like the Saw movies where people are getting disemboweled constantly, but you show them a dick and we're like, there's only been like 2 movies that show dicks.
I thought about this when Kevin Bacon and Matt Dillon are on the island together, like right after you see his penis, right? And I looked at Corey and I said, are these two gonna kiss? And then I was like, no, they don't do that in
I said the
movies.
same thing, didn't I? I was like, seems like it's gonna get homoerotic here, yeah. Perhaps at some point it did. Oh, you have a fact about it? Perhaps I do.
Oh my God. But again, like, how come we can see these 2 teenage girls kissing and we can see a threesome, whatever, but like, you're never gonna see these 2 men kiss? That was just crazy.
Gross,
Yeah.
Men kissing.
We're a proper country.
I feel like you guys keep queuing up the facts. Do we have more opinions? I feel like we're not saying enough opinions.
Corey, what did you think? Don't say your final verdict.
Oof, this is gonna be tough. So, opinions. In the beginning, I'm watching it and I'm thinking, this dude he seems like a good guy. He seems like, I'm talking about Lombardo. He seems like all the students love him. He's got a good rapport with the dude who he has on the boat with him, the other student that he's like, yeah, man, keep on boating and you'll make your way through college and all that. And I'm like, oh, he's like a good dude. So initially, when he gets accused, first of all, when he had the 2 girls come over to wash the car, like when he just allowed that, and when the girl, actually even before that, sorry, she goes, hey, can I get a ride home? And immediately I was like, absolutely fucking not. Drop her off at a bus stop. Like, just stay out of this situation. Then they come over and he lets them do the car thing. Like, there's just no way that I would put myself in that situation.
I feel like though, it's setting up the stage for a brilliant business idea of
Mobile car wash of just hot chicks coming into your driveway to wash your car. Boom.
By the
They
way,
have
Corey, literally. Wait, they do? Do you have a number for one?
They have topless maid services where someone will come and clean your house without a shirt on. They've got that. They've got the other side too. Like, have you ever heard of college hunks lugging junk where they send hot college guys without shirts on?
I've used their services. They weren't that hunky.
Really?
I mean, I wasn't seeking a hunk, but
Were you deeply disappointed in your service?
wait, wasn't it college hunks hauling junk that I used for when we moved?
You recommended them to me, yes.
They were really good.
Oh, that's cool. We use junk luggers and it's a scam.
Oh, it's
But yeah, it's a scam. We'll tell you about that. But yeah, I was just like, I'm like, no way. He's being way too like cool about this shit. This is not. And then she accused him of rape, and I was like, yep, that's what happens. But I believed that he did not do it at first. Like, I really wanted to believe. And then when the second girl said it, I was like, fuck, he might have done it. You know, like, and I really didn't want him to have done it. And then, you know, shit got crazy in the courtroom, and I was like, fuck these rich people thinking they could just get up and walk and start talking. And then, you know, so there was just a lot of those moments. And it kind of, you know, a couple of times I was like, oh man, this is it feels longer than it is. Like, it feels.
I didn't know, but
If-
what about the part when he's in the hotel room and it just reminded me what he was saying when he's in the hotel room with the female officer and she says, why didn't you just show us these files in the first place? Because then I had principles and integrity or something, and now I got nothing to lose. Now, can we also talk about when that female officer is in the hotel room with him? Oh, they were good. I was so certain. I was like, oh my God, did I not remember they have sex too?
100%.
Yeah, I thought that was gonna happen too.
I said the same thing. I was like,
Everybody wants to blow Matt Dillon in this movie.
Matt Dillon is not that hot. Second of all, this cop, and you know what? I'll say this. This female cop never like solves the case. She like never comes around. She is
She
the one that
disagreed. By the very end of the movie, she has it all figured out. I feel like she barely tries to solve the case, quite frankly. Kevin's the one who seems like he keeps trying to solve the case. But she's like, come on, quit it.
in the beginning she was like, I don't think she did it. I think she's lying. Like, and I was like, good for
Because she
her.
was young, hungry.
I guess so.
Yeah, well, you know, the only reason I say it felt long is because every twist every twist that kept happening, I was like, fuck, well, what the fuck? Like, I just needed to know what was gonna happen.
And you never do. You're never planted
And,
until
and
the
you
very
kind
end.
of, yeah, you don't know until the credits are rolling. But like,
So, were there too many twists, do you think?
I think it's cool. I can't really think of another movie where there's that many twists except for like Saw 1,
Yeah, I agree with that.
where you're like,
Yeah.
what the fuck?
It's like a delicious pretzel.
Yeah. Saw 1, I think, is the best Saw, by the way. We're not talking.
Obviously,
Okay.
that's Saw. Saw 1 is obviously, Saw 2 is a solid film. Too. Saw 2 is still good.
It's decent. Saw 2 is pretty good. Yeah, then it gets a little crazy.
In a safe place.
I've never seen any of them.
Saw 1 is so good.
Saw 1 you have to watch. Yeah.
It's so good. The other ones you don't have to.
We'll do an episode.
It might be time for the facts. I don't know. Does anybody have anything else they want to share?
Any last minute opinions from you, Zach? This is your movie. Just the facts, Jack. Okay, then. I'm guessing that means we can go to the facts.
I want the truth!
Face the facts, ducks.
Facts have no place with an organized religion.
So we'll start where we usually do with the ratings. On IMDb, it has a 6.6.
Bullshit.
On Rotten Tomatoes, you're going to say that a lot, I feel like. On Rotten Tomatoes tomato meter, it has a 64%. Average rating of 5.9 out of 10. 78 fresh reviews, 43 rotten. Audience score of 54% and an average score of 3.3 out of 5. Wait, scroll up a second. I'm going to read them all to you, Zach. It had a budget of $20 million. It grossed $30 million. The critics' consensus: Wild Things is a delightfully salacious, flesh-exposed romp that also requires a high degree of love for trash cinema. Okay. Roger Ebert gave it 3 stars and said, "A movie such as this either entertain or offend audiences. There's no neutral ground. Either you're a connoisseur of melodramatic comic vulgarity or you're not. You know who you are." I know that. David Denby from New York Magazine: "It is my dreary duty to report that Wild Things lacks fantasy and flamboyance, that it lacks precisely wild things, and that most of it is just flat." I couldn't disagree more with this douche. Take that, Denby. Mark Savlov from the Austin Chronicle: "Brainless and trashy in the extreme, it's also the most canny fun to be had in a while if you're partial to a swamp-side cheese whiz nosh." And Andrew Collins from Empire Magazine: "An endless string of twists. Granted, about 3 are genuinely surprising, but as double cross becomes triple cross becomes quadruple cross, it all gets awfully trying, and the script clangs along like a sack of bells." What kind of analogy is that, first off?
What, the simile there? He can kiss my sack of bells. I thought it was awesome. Okay. The letterbox reviews. I like how Gab handed Corey the microphone to laugh at too. This one's from Anna. Sex. Woo! Crimes. Boo. From Persia. This was so bad, but also so good. This was one of the horniest movies I've ever seen, and the amount of twists got ridiculous by the end, but I honestly didn't predict any of them. The acting was sometimes atrocious, but every single actor was so hot, I simply forgave them.
I can't tell this time span of the movie. Like, I can't tell if those girls were 18 by the end or what.
None of them are minor. It's very important. They were actually 24 and 27 when they shot the movie.
No, but I mean, like, in terms of like the story, like these girls were seniors, right?
They're 18. Presumably.
Okay.
But I get what he's saying, like, because when they go back a little bit, when we were friends, then I did time and I got out and this and that. I see what he's saying. Okay. With Neve Campbell's character alone. They were all perpetually 18. Aaron, Neve Campbell, be gay, do crimes. Crime, penetration. They don't get that at all. It's from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. And this last one from the Culture Shocker. The end title card. Okay, great. The movie keeps going. Oh my God. And, I did have one more. Sorry, I could have sworn that it flashes to the title card and then showed all the credits and then you saw the scenes. Well, that would have been much worse if they did that, because quite frankly, then it would be easy to lose out on what is kind of very crucial. Didn't I say, tell Gab, make sure she watches the credits? I texted her that. I said, make sure you watch it. Goes right into it. Yes. She would have to be quick on the remote, like, done, you know?
Yeah, although with considering the timing, I almost did. I was like, all right, we got to get the zoom up. And then I was like, oh, fuck, there's more.
So the movie was directed by John McNaughton, who also directed The Borrower, Speaking of Sex, and Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer. Awesome.
Oh, I saw The Borrowers in the movie theater.
Good job.
I don't remember. It was with all the little people, right?
I don't know. Wait, is it that movie? Because
It's all the little people and they steal shit they live in there.
what is he talking about?
Zach, you auditioned for that movie, right?
They live in your house and they come out and they like use your shit. Like they live there too. Like they're like the fucking lizards in Matt Dillon's office.
They just appeared instead of living there. No, this is a different movie. The Borrowers versus The Borrower. I do like that movie that he's talking about, but you ever see Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer? I have, with Michael Rooker. Yeah. The screenplay was written by Stephen Peters, who also wrote The Park is Mine, The Wolves, and The Fourth War. I don't know any of those either, to be honest. Stars Kevin Bacon as Ray Touquette, who you may know from Footloose, Hollow Man, and Tremors. Matt Dillon as Sam Lombardo, you may know from Crash, There's Something About Mary, and The Outsiders. Neve Campbell as Susie Toller, you may know from Party of Five and the Scream franchise. Denise Richards as Kelly Van Ryan, who you may know from Starship Troopers and The World Is Not Enough. And Bill Murray as Ken Bowden, who you may know from Groundhog Day, Space Jam, and Zombieland. If you don't know who Bill Murray is, just this show isn't.
Fuck yourself.
Get off. Yeah. Let's not tell people to go fuck themselves.
No, I've said it.
Also includes Teresa Russell, Robert Wagner, and Daphne Rubin-Vega.
So Russell, who I hope never sets foot on a movie set again.
Oh, damn. Well, she obviously should stand in as Kim Cattrall's stunt double.
Sure.
Yeah. I liked her. The movie was nominated for an MTV Movie Best Kiss Award for Matt Dillon, Denise Richards, and Neve Campbell, but lost to Shakespeare in Love. How could that movie lose?
Wow.
That angers me. I could tell. It was also nominated for a Stinker's Bad Movie Award for Worst Supporting Actress for Neve Campbell. That seems very pointed, because quite frankly, she's better than Denise Richards.
I was going to say that. She's better than Denise Richards. And the mom.
But that's on her business card now, yeah. But she wears it not for significantly more of the movie than Denise Richards. What?
True.
Denise Richards, it literally felt like it was like, she's paying the $8 million based on my parents. I'm telling you. I guess there's like rape scenes in movies. I was going to say that the single worst nudity I could think of in a movie, Harvey Keitel in, oh my God, the detective movie he did. The Bad Lieutenant. The Bad Lieutenant, where he's high on crack and boozed up and he's standing naked in front of his mirror crying. It's like, oh, that's not good naked.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Movies with dong, bad dong. It does have dong. All right, the fun facts. Before the filming of an outdoor scene by the river, a gaffer was fixing the lights and noticed something floating in the river. It was a dead body. Police were called, and when they arrived, they anchored it to the dock out of sight of the camera and removed it after the scene was shot. A real dead body was found while they were making Wampus. In which plot was this? It was one of the swamp scenes. They were filming an outdoor scene by the river. And they just said, it'll chill here for now. Continue your movie. Yes. Florida.
Wow. Florida. I said to Corey when we were watching this, isn't it crazy how you can live in a place like Florida where you could just like dispose of a dead body, no problem. And we live here and you can't.
I thought that was what the Hudson was for. Yeah, I was going to say, the East River, Hudson River, there's plenty of places.
Yeah, but they'll have gators just straight up eat you.
The gators can just eat the dead.
Like 7 alligators a year from the New York City sewers.
True, but that's the sewer. How am I supposed to get the body to the sewer?
Just chuck the body in the sewer, open a manhole, and down she goes.
Ugh. All right. I'm going to take your word for that, but if something happens, I'm going to call you.
There's jellyfish in the Hudson, by the way.
There are.
If something happens, you're going to call me what? Now I have to eat the body?
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, look at me. I probably will. Okay, Kevin Bacon, who has a no nudity clause, said his full frontal nudity was accidental. His nether regions were never supposed to show up because he thought Matt Dillon was blocking the shot. Director John McNaughton told the Huffington Post how Bacon's manhood made an unintentional cameo. Kevin steps out of the shower and Matt throws him a towel, and he catches it and it covers him, and he did it in every take but one. It was a little miscue and it didn't cover him. When McNaughton saw a rough cut of the movie, he objected that editor Elena Maganini had included that very shot, but she told him, it's not fair, you guys have scene after scene of topless babes, this is one for us. McNaughton agreed, but still had producer Stephen A. Jones ask his friend Bacon for permission to use the take. What I heard from Steve is that Kevin asked, how do I look? Steve said, you look fine. And so Kevin went, no problem. Bacon later commented that I didn't think any more about it, so I was shocked, really shocked, when everyone kept on about it after the movie's release. It wasn't that big a deal. That's just the camera putting on a few pounds. In 2015, Bacon shot a funny Free the Bacon PSA, encouraging more male actors to do full frontal nudity.
And we have a list of all the male actors who've done it.
Zach has created a whole website where he can tell you exactly what part of the movie to fast forward to see.
Go to www.paradeofdongs.com. It's definitely a website that exists. I assume. God damn it.
Jason Segel's got a good one.
Forgetting Sarah Marty.
I'll give Zach a second to look up if paradeofdongs.com exists. If not, I'm buying the domain. It does not exist. Oh, I think you gotta buy this. The official website of the Moose Talk Free Time Podcast, paradeofdogs.com. You know what? I had a finance manager at this dealership I worked at that one day, he spent like $400 in a day just buying these disgusting domain names, and he sold a couple.
I believe it.
Porno companies. Yeah.
I believe it.
Kevin Bacon said in an interview that he and other cast members had trouble keeping track of the lies and twists in the script. To determine their motivation in each scene, the cast had to gather with the director, writers, and producers to establish the sequence of events. We'd sit in rehearsals trying to piece together what was going on in the script, whom we were lying to, and what we were lying about, and it just got to be very complicated. We'd have to stop and rest. It almost reminds me of the way they filmed the American Psycho with Willem Dafoe's character. How he has 3 interactions with Christian Bale, and one of them he films as if he believes him, one of them is if he doesn't, and one is if he's unsure. Yeah.
I've only seen that movie once. It was a very long time ago. I feel like maybe that's the root of where some of the acting doesn't feel great.
I suppose it's fair, and I think maybe it's a movie that does reward a rewatch when you do know more about the fact that everyone is lying constantly. Sure. Like even just me knowing that yesterday, that I'd only seen it once before this, but knowing that there's so many twists coming, I was like much more willing to.
Everyone's lying constantly. You would think they were Pollux.
That I was much more willing to accept a lot of what was going on.
Okay.
So Sam Lombardo was originally going to be Robert Downey Jr. He was cast, but had to drop out. He was struggling with substance abuse issues at the time, and the studio balked at the insurance costs. McNaughton later said that Matt Dillon was a better fit for the character anyway.
I'll tell you what, the principal of the high school should have been Tim Meadows.
I said the same thing. I said
Oh
that
my
while we were
God.
watching it yesterday.
That's what I said when we were watching it too.
That's hysterical.
Maybe that just shows we
fucking
did
great.
Mean Girls very recently, but oh my God.
Maybe. That's wonderful. Who else were we talking about could have played?
Oh, I said I kind of would have liked to see Mark Wahlberg as Duquette.
I could see it. I think at the time he was probably a little too young to. I think I'd like Mark Wahlberg as Lombardo. Like the older boy. Oh, wait. Like that's who I was mixing up the characters for a second.
I just like him as a cop, like because I love The Departed.
Yeah. awesome movie. Wait, but his character from The Departed in this movie.
Maybe go fuck
I love
yourself.
this.
I've never seen it.
Well, the thing is, he wouldn't do that. That
No,
character,
he-
that character would.
Don't ruin it. I haven't seen it.
I almost just really did ruin it by what I was about to say, yeah.
Don't say anything.
Okay. Many reviewers described the film as trash. Director McNaughton said that, like how Andy Warhol used real trash in his artistic process, he was also trying to use low art trash as an element in his film. He strongly disagrees with critics who try to frame the film as high camp. Camp is ironic humor, and Wild Things isn't trying to be ironic. It's an easy default. He credited Roger Ebert with correctly recognizing the film as lurid trash. In his positive review, Ebert wrote, "It is in bad taste elevated to the level of demented sleaze. McNaughton likes to show audiences how wrong their expectations are by upsetting them. That worked in Henry, Portrait of a Serial Killer, as grim tragedy, and it works here as satire." I get why I like it now. I am, what was the word? Demented trash?
Lurid
It's
trash and demented.
made-
There you go, yeah.
There we go. That's it. So hold on, because you just said the word satire, and that triggered me, Dylan. So explain.
What do you mean? That was end of sentence. Get your fin to Vito Margera for a minute.
This is not satire.
Listen, that's what Roger Ebert said, not me. Isn't all of life satire at the end of the day?
Well, we watched RoboCop, and I didn't know it was satire, so I was like, this movie was weird.
RoboCop is much more heavy-handed satire, but
Like,
Zach has never
have you
actually
ever
seen
seen
RoboCop.
RoboCop?
Seen 27?
No.
Text her that in a minute.
I will.
What
Remind
the
me.
one with all the
Squibs.
with the penises exploding?
Yes.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh, okay. Wait, why am I dong obsessed?
Yeah, there's some sense of it. I wish Sigmund Freud was here to talk about what Zach is thinking.
I know. I feel like Zach chose this movie to be like, look, I like boobies too. It's not just dong.
Did anyone else notice the whole time that Zach wasn't talking to her, he had a pen in his mouth? All right, last fun fact I have here. Director John McNaughton explained that the scene where Matt Dillon and Kevin Bacon are revealed to be in cahoots at the end would originally have shown the two men kissing and showering together. However, one of the actors objected on the day of filming, so McNaughton agreed to film it as it appears in the movie. Bacon actually blamed the omission on the film's financiers, who didn't like the idea of men making out. Matt Dillon said that he was relieved when they got rid of the scene. I already knew before you said it which one objected. Say, sis, I'm not making out with Bacon. Kevin seemed pretty attached to it, though. McNaughton pointed out that there is still a hint that the men are in a relationship during the end credits flashbacks when Dylan enters a bar and offers Bacon a drink.
I have bought men drinks.
I didn't take it.
I
Yeah,
don't
didn't
think it
take
hints at that at all, really. Yeah,
Yeah.
but
It would have been, I would have probably liked it better if the two of them had just had, even if it was not a kiss, even if it was just some kind of indication.
A second.
Like,
If you make this movie today, that 100% happens.
Yeah.
Not the sack tap. The men kiss at the very
Yeah.
end.
agreed.
How did you know Matt Dillon was the one who was against it? I just pictured Jill in my head, and I pictured just Kevin Bacon going, well, for artistic integrity's sake, I'm willing to kiss a man. And Matt Dillon going, no way.
Yeah, that's how I thought about it too, because I also thought Kevin Dillon doesn't seem like he would do that either, and I was a big Entourage fan. So I just feel like they both wouldn't do that or be interested in doing that.
Also, I mean,
Kevin Dillon calling over to, sorry, guys, I didn't mean to cut you off. Kevin Dillon calling over to razz him like, you kissed a man.
Kevin Dillon is hilarious.
Yes.
all right.
So is it a movie to watch before you die?
Well, we
yeah,
have
that
to
makes
get
sense.
to the
You don't
ver-
get to say that, Zach. We have to get to the verdicts, goddammit. I don't watch the show enough.
Hey, can I say something about the show? I listen to every episode, right? And every time I hear the, you think you know everything about me, I always think he says, well, I diapered your butthole. I bloody well ought to. That's what I hear. That's what I hear every time.
Please don't ruin that clip for me. Hello, it is
Thank
basically saying, he's saying I diapered your bottom. I blood well too.
I just think it's so weird. Like he says, I die, bud.
Diapered it? Wait, Zach, can you, as Michael Caine, say I diapered your bottom? I blood well too.
well, looks like I diapered your bottom and your butthole, and might as well butthole you too. Butthole. I don't know what you said. That's
That
not
was
what I said.
horrible.
It was like-
Horrible.
I diapered your
Oh, that was pretty good.
What's the clip that we watched with the guys talking about, I'm Michael Caine?
My name is Michael Caine. Yeah, these two guys arguing about who's.
Have you seen it?
I think you sent this to me once. I
He's
feel
like, It's very
It's very specific and it's very loudly. And when he gets loudly, yeah.
it's so funny. We'll send it to you.
Best Michael Caine movie, Alfie.
Gold member.
No, the Muppets Christmas Carol.
Yes, he plays the shit out of that role.
He does. He plays it like he is not surrounded by Muppets.
He's amazing at
These are classic Victorian actors. Okay. This has nothing to do with anything, but what non-Muppet movie would you like to see with Muppets in it?
Scarface.
Oh.
Oh, wait, they pretty much made a version of that with Muppets. So hold on, Wild Things.
You know, it's
that
got,
lesbian
I feel,
Muppet scene.
I feel like it's got to have like
Miss
a.
Piggy and I don't know who else. Wait, Muppet Dong. I was gonna say, 'tis the season for Muppet Die Hard. I would love to see like Kermit as Hans Gruber.
Yeah. Agreed.
Wait, what did you have, Corey?
No, I feel like Ocean's 11 would be good because there's just so many of them.
Okay, Sinatra Muppet, or are we talking George Clooney Muppet? Well, wait.
George Clooney Muppet.
Does Clooney stay Clooney and the rest are Muppets, or are they all Muppets? They're all.
Well, I would say, I kind of.
Because in Muppet Die Hard, I imagine Bruce Willis stays.
No, I feel like Clooney would have to be Kermit because Julia Roberts would be Miss Piggy, but maybe like Andy Garcia could still be Andy Garcia.
Yes, I like it. Wait, what's the movie I'm thinking of? I think it's called like The Fuzz. It's got the guy Vito from The Sopranos.
Ganiscoli, something Ganiscoli, Joseph Ganiscoli or something?
That's all fine. That's all done.
I'll tell you what. My choice would be Vampire's Kiss, but Nicolas Cage is Nicolas Cage and everybody else is a Muppet.
Nicolas Cage would be the
Muppets
Count.
walking past him while he freaks out.
Maybe Nicolas Cage imagines himself as the guy. No, that gives it away. He becomes the Count when he's a vampire. That won't work.
How many roaches will I eat? 2.
We just found out on Thanksgiving that Kermit and Miss Piggy are not married.
Oh, true.
They're just shacking up. I mean,
Yeah.
They're
just living in sin.
All this time, they've been living in sin.
It is called The Fuzz. It was a TV show
With Muppets?
with Muppets, and they're criminal Muppets.
With Muppets or with puppets?
Well, look, Jim Henson didn't fucking make it. I mean,
Okay.
Oh,
but that
then
makes
they're
it
not
different.
Muppets.
Yeah, they're not Muppets. They're puppets.
they're Muppet-like. Hold on, I'll show you.
They're puppets.
Like
Don't throw a
Crankakers.
marionette at me and tell me it's a Muppet.
And
motherfucker.
that guy John Gabris is a human. It's a world where humans and Muppets exist, and the Muppets are like criminals.
Well, all Muppets are puppets, but not all puppets are Muppets.
Exactly.
Yes.
But here, look, they're like very. Hold on, I'm zooming in.
What's the line from Pirates of the Caribbean where it sounds like he says Muppet?
Hello, puppet.
That's it.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
All right. We
I
got to
guess
get
it's
to these
time to get to
verdicts.
the verdicts, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Before we get too wild, before we get to these verdicts, do you want to take a step back and do the mail without Corey and Zach? Get them out of here.
Only if there's dong.
No, there will be no dong.
Damn it.
Next week when it's Wildlings mail, I'm sure we'll get plenty of dongs. Please don't send me dongs, people.
Send dongs. Dongs to Dylan. Dongs for Dylan is the name of my new nonprofit.
Mail time! When you control the mail, you control information.
Mom asked me to ask you if there's any mail for us here by mistake.
What?
What do they do? But let's start with a comment from Lanola Cola. From Pointless Hub, Movie Nights with Alison Pregler, and Feelin' Fortress, and now Movies Watch Before You Die, I'm honestly surprised at the resurgence for this Arnie Christmas movie. I unironically want to own this movie on DVD or Blu-ray now. And that was about, obviously, Jingle All the Way, which, yes, you should own Jingle All the Way on DVD, Blu-ray, 4K, whatever the fuck, because it's awesome.
Yeah. Or you could just stream it like a regular person does in the year of our Lord 2025.
Where does that come from, the year of our Lord?
I'm assuming something Christian with the calendar. Aren't we on like an Anglo-Saxon Christian waspy calendar of sorts?
But I didn't
Gregorian.
realize- Who is Gregory? No, I'm just kidding. But I didn't realize at some point every year can be called the year of our Lord. I didn't know that.
Oh yeah. So it's like I think if you're following now listen, I'm making this up, but I think if you're following the religious calendar, the year that Jesus was born is 0
Yeah.
or died is 0 or something, and then like every year after that. So like a what it used to be called BC. Now it's
BCAD?
AD and BD, right? Yeah, BCAD. Thank you. Whew. CBGB
My
and
second favorite rock
ACDC.
band.
You know.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. Um, but so yeah, it's the year of our Lord because it is, Jesus-y, and this year is, 2025. Do you know how many times lately I've said, well, it's 2015, so
I realized I was
that's
taking notes in a
devastating.
meeting and I put like this training 1/7/15 and I was like, nope.
Yeah,
Then somebody
it's
else in the
rough.
training was like, I don't remember how it came up, but I mentioned something. I think the year I mentioned was like 1998, and he was like, "Well, I wasn't alive then," and I was like, "Well, go fuck yourself."
Oh my God,
That was
that's
upsetting.
devastating. Yeah, that's terrible. I'm sorry you had to go through that.
But you know what else? It will not be devastating. We have an email from Kyle who answered our toy question about the hot toy of the season. So
Fabulous.
Kyle
What is it,
said,
Kyle?
"It's Turbo Time. Jingle All the Way is one of my favorite so bad it's good holiday movies. In terms of 2024 must-have toys, for Melody, it was a Mama Surprise, which I'm gonna read what that
Wait,
is.
wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
read what that
A
is, but I'm
mama
totally just
surprise.
thinking of like Mama Celeste pizzas. I'm like, I mean, I used to get excited as a kid when Mom brought those home, but I wouldn't want it as a gift.
That's hilarious because I would have thought that Melody was the mama surprise, if you know what I mean.
That was so dumb. Oh my god. But Mom Surprise is essentially a fake pet guinea pig. So
What?
there was a
Where
toy,
did
My
they
Pet
get the
Rock,
name?
for Christ's sake, Gab. I mean,
Well,
come
yeah,
on.
but I just feel like if I were responsible for naming the pet guinea pig toy, I'd be like, we're gonna call it Little Oinky or something like that, not Mama's Surprise. Am I hearing you correctly?
Singular, Mama Surprise.
Mama Surprise?
Yes.
What the fuck? That sounds like, do you remember what was it? It must have been uh Impractical Jokers. They did one of those like we're pretending that we're inventors and you're gonna rate our invention, and they were like
Okay.
toy makers. It was a focus group, and they did like a fake pregnancy belly for little girls. So like kids were walking around wearing like the fake pregnancy bellies
That sounds
under
like
their
something they
shirts.
do.
That's what Mama Surprise sounds like to
That
me.
does feel, it would be a much better name for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know
Yeah,
why
yeah.
that's the name for that. I don't know.
So weird. I'm gonna Google it. But anyway, continue.
Zach's, Zach and Allie's pet guinea pig is Chief Clancy Pigums. I think that's a great name.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's actually the best thing I've ever heard. I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, Chief Clancy Pigums. Sawyer, being a 4-year-old boy, was all about Paw Patrol, which I think that makes more sense.
Sure.
I hope you both had a great Hanukkah and wish you a happy new year. Maybe I'll get to come back on the pod in 2025. Your film realist, Kyle Naranya. Which
He can
he'll
definitely
certainly be
come
back.
back. Yeah, obviously. It's just you
Yes.
can't be back every week,
We
Kyle.
just have
Now
other
listen,
guests we have to meet up with.
and we also want to chat just the two of us. Now, oh my God, I had a burning question. Oh, Paw Patrol. So I've never seen Paw Patrol, but I'll tell you what, I've had this incredible urge lately to watch Bluey.
I have seen some Bluey actually, and it's freaking adorable.
I've heard it's really good. And I said to Corey, like, should we just turn it on and just see what it's all about? Like, we don't have kids, but maybe this would be like kind of cool to be up on before
I'll
we have
recommend you
kids.
some episodes. I think the dad
Okay,
is
thank you.
the dad rocks. Bandit. That's his name, Bandit.
Bandit. Oh man, I'm into that. Do you
All
think
right.
Bandit is a reformed prisoner? Do you think he served any time prior to having children?
I don't think so, but you know what? Bandit's kind of gruff. I could see it. I could see
Do
it.
bandits, if you're a bandit, that implies that you haven't been caught, correct?
Yes, or that you're a
Okay.
little trash panda, a raccoon.
Yeah. But he's a dog. Anyway.
Anyway, speaking of dog, dog sounds like dong. Let's get back to Wild Things.
Do or do not. There is no try.
The guilty will be punished.
Sentence is death. Okay, so Zach, this was your movie. So obviously, I feel like we know which way you're going. Do you believe this is a movie to watch before you die?
I think it's a movie if I'm like on my deathbed dying. Pop it in.
Okay. What do you want to say anything else about it? Like
Love it.
do you want to plead your case? You a closing argument?
Like I said, I mean, you like Kevin Bacon, you like dong, you like lesbian sex scenes, you like twists and turns. You're gonna love it.
Okay. Corey. Quit briefly.
Excuse me. So while I was getting towards the end, I don't know if maybe I was getting hungry or something, but I was like, this movie just stole 104 minutes of my life. But I thought that. But once it was over, and now that we started talking about it, I'm like, I didn't particularly like. It didn't blow my hair back, but I do appreciate that it had all those twists and turns, and it made it unique. Like there really isn't another movie that that it reminds me of.
Tensions?
I mean, because it was probably around that era, but like and there was girls kissing, but like they're otherwise like it's kind of unique, so I like that. So I feel like you've never seen anything like it. And I didn't know I was going to say this, but I think it is a movie to watch before you die because I've never seen anything like it, and I love unique shit like that.
I love
Wait.
lesbian porn.
Wait, I gotta say, as far as verdicts go, no verdict has ever taken me on more of a ride than Corey's verdict. That was a twist. That was a twist. He twisted it. He said it stole 104 minutes of my life. 2 minutes later, but it's a movie to watch. He was straight up like the Key and Peele thing, where it's like, I hate that I love this dish so much. Is what I'd say if I didn't hate it.
Well, you got to, like, think about like a movie that like you didn't particularly enjoy, but there's like nothing like it. Like,
That's how I felt about Vampire's Kiss. Remember when I was like, I said this movie sucked, but then I couldn't stop thinking about it for like 3 weeks?
Yes. I
watched
also
it,
feel
like,
like
4 more
we never corrected it, but that's kind of how you felt about the thing as well. Ew, why are you doing that? That's gross.
I keep saying we need to watch it again, and you will not allow that to happen. So I watched Vampire's Kiss like 6 more times. So at first I was like really in on this movie. It feels very nostalgic. I really love the 90s. I love Cruel Intentions. So I'm in. And I'm very like, God, did he? Didn't he? Like, what the hell? And then they have the trial, and it comes out that the 2 girls are lying about him raping them. And I'm like, wow, this movie was over like super fast. That's so crazy. And then you realize it's like not even halfway there. And the twists and turns keep coming, and it's like vaguely interesting. And then the thing that really kind of did it for me was like the sex scene was really long. And and that's fine. But after that, it kind of felt like there's nothing that can shock me more than how long that scene lasted and how long it went on for. So no other twist or turn was nearly as shocking as the fact that we were still watching them have sex. So as much as, it had me really good, and then it kind of started to lose me, and then, like, there would be another twist, and I was like, "Oh, okay, so I guess this is it?" And then, I almost feel like the movie's biggest, achievement is also its biggest weakness, because at some point it was like, how many more twists and turns could there possibly fucking be?
I
And I
it's a
think
beautiful equation for it though. Twist, boobs, dong, twist, boobs, dong, boom.
Right. That's your take on it. My take was twist, a lot of gratuitous sex. And I'm keeping this pause intentional because I want you to understand that it feels like this is how I like it. It's like, all right, we get it. Like, wrap it up. Get to your point, right? Okay. Then it was like twist, 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 twist. And I almost feel like, when you watch a song, yeah, exactly. Dylan was pumping like he was dancing in the club to my remix. When you're watching an episode of Seinfeld and you're like, wow, there's like a lot of like twists, like plots overlapping and whatever, but by the end, you can very cohesively connect those plots again.
I got you.
I feel like this movie loses that, and at some point there's got to be a plot hole, but we're just a little too confused to like fully remember. And then I felt like they even went as far as to be like, after we flash the end, we've got to cover our tracks and explain the things that we didn't explain in the movie, because people are going to walk out of here and be like, well, how did they? Blah, blah, blah. So then it felt almost like they were trying to cover their tracks. And for that reason, I feel like if there were a couple fewer twists and turns, it would have been really airtight. But I think they just got a little what's the word I'm looking for? They got a little greedy, and they wanted more and more and more, and it just ended up not quite working out. That's how I feel about it.
That's part of that noir, the theme, is it? And then they just go back into explaining the twist. So pretend that the end doesn't exist and it's still just part of the movie. On the rewatch, I feel like you're really going to appreciate it.
Maybe. I just think, I'll leave you with this before I give my final verdict. Nicolas Cage is a psychopath, right? And he does this style of acting that is so outrageous, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it doesn't. It's all about context. And I think that this type of movie sometimes works. And in this context, because they went a little too far, it didn't quite work. I liked it. I'll never watch it again. I don't think it meets the mark as a movie to watch before you die. That's me personally. Zach, I'm really happy for you that you got to watch it again, and I hope it was everything you wanted. It didn't do it for me. Dylan, what do you think?
Gab, the good news is you're not the only one, and I feel like I'm about to disappoint Zach greatly here. He's gonna punch me.
I think it twists at least one too many twists.
You
And
came into my house and watch this, you piece of shit.
I let you into my home.
twist. I hated it. No.
My home.
Honestly, the whole Susie murder thing, I feel like is the twist that I'm like, it's too much twist. Where they're dumping her body, and like we see Matt Dillon dumping the body, and it's like, well, that was just for us then, the audience, because there's no one else around him by that point.
You're missing it because she was in the car.
So what? I don't know.
But who was watching him? It's not like he was like, oh, Kevin Bacon is watching, so I have to dump the body.
It's Richards.
But then how? She helped him wrap up the body. Like, it doesn't work.
It just feels like it's a bit too much. And why was Kelly supposed to actually live? And then there's a twist that Kevin Bacon orchestrated her death, which we know that happened anyway. Like, I feel like, I don't know. It's one or two twists too many. Because it doesn't ever let us as an audience sit with its twist. Because after it says the end, it's like, but there's still more twists. It feels like the monster truck commercial of twists. You know what I mean? It's just screaming twists at it. Twist, Penis, twist.
Don't you think that you should have seen this movie so you could understand what it's like to see a movie that has too many twists in it? So that way, when you watch a movie that has a couple of twists in it, you're like, okay, this is a perfect amount of twists. But where's your reference point?
Yes.
Nope.
I feel like he's kind of insulting the movie. He's like, don't you feel like you should see a movie that does too much bad twists? That you can appreciate good twists?
And I said it didn't blow my hair back, but I think you should watch it because it's different.
I'll tell you what. Listen, Dylan, you and I have experienced this before. Corey has not been on this podcast that much. This is probably your fourth time.
Yeah, but I listen to it all the time.
Okay, that's fine.
Snipe at your butthole.
Okay. He's listened to it a bunch, but you and I know from the vast experience, 2 years now of doing this podcast, that it's very easy to get talked into it by somebody who loves it. And so you and I both have become rock solid. We are impenetrable when it comes to our opinions because we can no longer be talked into it. Corey did not like this movie. He made that very clear when we were watching it, and Zach has talked him into it. And listen, that's okay. It happens to me too, or at least it used to. All I'm saying is I agree with you, Dylan, and your opinion is valid and it stands, but we're at a stalemate. So now somebody has to die.
Let me ask you something. What is it going to take for me to make this a movie you have to watch before you die today?
You can't afford that, my friend.
I do think it's fun. I do think it's entertaining. If you've never seen it and you do like, if I say twisty sex crime thriller and those words interest you, you will enjoy this movie for sure.
Sex crime, to be honest.
Okay.
No. There was a comma between those. Twisty, comma, sex, comma, crime, comma, thriller.
Okay, all right. Sex crime thriller. That's a whole new genre.
Yeah. Sex,
It did
comma,
sound like
crime, comma,
I didn't
thriller.
hear the comma. I heard sex crime thriller.
It does just feel like, though, at a certain point, it's too many twists. And I feel like Corey's like, but then when you watch The Sixth Sense, won't you appreciate that it's one twist?
It's like the Billy Mays of movies. Wait, there's more.
Yes, exactly.
Like by the time Bill Murray comes back at the end, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here?
I was waiting for them to kiss to be like, and we've been in on it the whole time. Like,
Right?
oh.
And it's
Well, they should have.
It
They
is solely
should have.
because Bill Murray's not nearly as hot as the rest of this cast.
Wait, am I
misinterpreting this? At the end of the movie, he could just be saying it because he's Bill Murray and it's his way to say goodbye, see you later. And he tells her to be good. No, he says be good. See you next time we do this or whatever. See you the next time. He says something like that. I think he just says be good. No,
He says be good.
At the very end, he says something like see you on the next one.
I'll tell you what.
I don't.
I wish that Kevin Bacon would have kissed Matt Dillon in the shower, and I wish that Bill Murray would have kissed Nev Campbell at the end, and then everybody's just kissing everybody, so that way they could just really lean into how insane the whole thing is. And
Female cop should have stood Matt Dillon too. For real? These fuck MTV for A, getting rid of the music a long time ago, but also for not giving them the Best Kiss award for that.
Dylan, can you think of another example of a movie that takes something good and just does it too much?
God, I feel like there's got to be movies on this podcast we've done where I feel like one of us said the exact same thing.
There have been, what are those movies that we talk about where it's like there's a million jokes and they just hope some of them land?
Yes, like to me, I always think of like Deadpool and Wolverine, or Deadpool in general feels like a character that's like, if I just keep spewing jokes, you'll laugh. But it's like, but at a certain point, I want to hear just the good ones.
they overdo it. They overdo it in the movie, because in the comics, it's not like that.
That's how I feel about the twists in this film, where it's like, if we just keep twisting, they'll be shocked.
I loved it. I'm trying to find that very end part. I'm trying to find what movie were we talking about recently where we said that, where it's just so many.
I think it was The Mask. No, wasn't it like?
I feel like we could have said that about The Mask, where it's like, I feel like about The Mask, we said there was a lot of jokes and they didn't all land well enough. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
a lot of twists. They didn't land.
The Lovely Bones, too much diddling.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, so that's another sex crime movie.
Yeah.
Yes, add that to the list of sex crime thrillers.
Sex crime thriller.
Venn diagram: sex crime, courtroom, hot cast.
Are you playing the clip? It's the very ending. That's
Let him do it.
this isn't the full scene though. That's why.
Do you think they got the inspiration for Saul? What was his last name?
Saul Goodman.
Saul Goodman from Bill Murray's character in this movie, because I do.
I could see it. I 1000%. No, there have been sleazy lawyers way before Wild Things.
I guess.
As long as
What
there's
did
been
I-
lawyers, there's been sleazy lawyers.
What did I recently say that Bill Murray? That Saul Goodman could have been. Oh, he could have been in Turbo Man, or
Yeah, he could have
Jingle
been
All the
Phil
Way.
Hartman's character in Jingle All the Way.
Yeah.
I could kind of see it
Thank
because we
you.
were talking about if we made that movie today. At first, I pictured him as Howard, and that was ridiculous.
I said John
With your
Mulaney.
muscles. Whatever the line is, you can't bench press your way out of this one, Howard. Wow, he didn't watch that, and he just remembers that line.
Wow. I remember being kids and watching that movie with you guys in like the middle of July.
Oh, we watched the
I
shit
love
out of
that
that movie.
movie,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, this movie was fine. I expected more from you, Zach. I'm not gonna lie.
Wow. Oh, it's exactly what I expected.
I mean, once the threesome started, I was like, oh yeah, Zach definitely picked this movie for sure.
See, just like this, just like movies in general, keep your expectations low and let it embrace you. You know?
Let it embrace you. That's how they got into that mess.
Okay. I guess we should say the things we say at the end.
Thank you so much for listening. If you want to send us some mail, let us know what you think about this movie or any other movies you think we should cover. You can go ahead and send an email to movies-to-watch-before-you-die@gmail.com. You can send us a voice note at anchor.fm/movies-to-watch. And then in the link tree in the description below, you will find a link to our friends from the podcasting Hall of Pods.
Hall of Pods
Fall it
Podcasting
apart.
Network, close
Hall
enough
of
there.
Pods Podcasting Network. My Venmo is in there. Our storefront is in there. Follow me on Instagram. Zach is gonna come back at some point. Dylan, please help me.
Zach will come back at some point where hijinks will ensue, I'm sure. I don't have Venmo on there, but you could send me money too if you guys really like me. And I will hang dong for the right price. It's a very low price. It's more of a ding.
And I feel like the only way to end this episode is by saying, I type in your butthole, I bloody well ought to. Thanks for listening about Wild Things. We'll be back for some other movie. We didn't even mention that this was our 100th episode.
Oh fuck!
Here, redo it. You can cut and screw. We'll just say it now. Hey, 100 episodes. Woo-hoo!
Let's just redo the whole episode.
Let's start from the beginning. Yeah. Welcome to the Movies Watch Before You Die podcast.
Damn. All right. Well,
that's where it'll cut.
Yeah, I can get behind that.
Hang a little down.
What about asking her to take a polygraph?
What about asking the Pope to take a piss test? This is Blue Bay, Gloria. You ask a Van Ryan to take a lie detector test, and Tom Baxter will cut you off at the knees.